We are approaching the official release of the 3.2 beta version, and more precise information about the character kits is starting to emerge. A few days ago, we discussed Castorese's Eidolons, and today we'll cover ANAXA'S complete kit. That's right. Apparently ANAXA'S full leak has been revealed, and we'll take a look at it today. As a spoiler, I found ANAXA'S kit to be very good, especially if you're a fan of the Herta or plan to invest heavily in this character. Stay with me until the end of the video, as we'll discuss ANAXA'S abilities, Eidolons, and Lightcone. If you're thinking about pulling for any of the characters in this version but don't have enough stellar jades, let me introduce you to Loot Bar. It's a fast, secure, and super reliable website to top up your Oneiric shards. On Loot Bar, you'll find prices with up to 23% discounts compared to in-game prices and a super simple process. Just select the amount of Oneiric shards you need, enter your UID and server, and complete the purchase. Everything is done securely, so your items are delivered straight to your account without any stress. In addition to Honkai, Star Rail, on Loot Bar you can also top up other games like Genshin Impact, Zenless Zone Zero, and Wuthering Waves. And if you register using the link in the description or pinned comment, you'll get an additional 8% discount coupon that can be combined with all other discounts. ANAXA'S kit is essentially a Silverwolf with some improvements for the Erudition team. First, let's talk about the basics. ANAXA'S basic attack is nothing special, only dealing damage to one enemy. Moving on to the skill, things start to get more interesting. ANAXA'S skill deals wind damage to one enemy, and then causes multiple instances of damage to random enemies. This is especially good as it allows ANAXA to be effective against both multiple enemies and single targets. Now let's discuss ANAXA'S talent before talking about the ultimate. ANAXA'S talent allows their kit to implant weaknesses in enemies, activating whenever they perform an attack using their basic attack, skill, or ultimate. By applying weakness with all attacks, ANAXA can easily stack various types of weaknesses on enemies. In other words, they can potentially make an enemy weak to all elements in the game. This alone is a game changer because regardless of which team you're running, your entire cast will benefit from their weakness application. If an enemy reaches 5 or more weaknesses, they enter a special state where ANAXA deals increased damage to them. If they attack an enemy in this state with their basic attack or skill, it automatically triggers another skill on the same target without consuming skill points. This makes them incredibly efficient with skill points, which is great in teams with the Herta, who already consumes many skill points. Finally, talking about their ultimate is where things get even crazier. Upon activation, it inflicts a unique status on all enemies that forces them to become weak to all elements for one turn. After applying this debuff, the ultimate deals wind damage to all enemies, making it both an offensive and support ability. ANAXA'S traces further reinforce their role as a multifunctional DPS. Their first trace increases critical damage, and if you're running multiple Erudition characters, it grants a damage increase for the entire team. The second trace helps with energy regeneration, causing ANAXA to gain a certain amount of energy at the start of each turn. In the third trace, for each weakness an enemy has, ANAXA ignores a portion of their DEF. Now let's talk about ANAXA'S Eidolons. Their first Eidolon restores a skill point after they cast their skill for the first time, while also reducing the target's defense for a few turns every time the skill deals damage to the target. E2 increases the number of damage instances from their skill, while also giving them a speed boost after using their ultimate for a few turns. ANAXA'S E4 grants attack percentage stacks to ANAXA every time they use their skill, and their E6 is quite simple, just granting a damage increase to all their skills. If their Eidolons remain unchanged after release, they will be a top-tier unit for anyone who enjoys high-damage AoE-oriented playstyles. Lastly, ANAXA'S signature Lightcone increases critical chance by a certain percentage, which we don't know exactly how much yet, and every time they inflict a weakness on an enemy, it causes that enemy to receive more damage. It seems to be a debuff, but it's not very clear yet. We need to see it in practice. Additionally, at the beginning of each enemy wave, they immediately gain a certain amount of energy. That's what we know about ANAXA so far. They seem to be quite strong for teams focused on main DPS of the Erudition path, especially when considering the Herta. Personally, I'm looking forward to seeing if ANAXA will work with Jade Hypercarry or Argenti. I hope they will be a good general character for Erudition DPS. What do you expect from ANAXA? Do you believe they will be a good character? Are you planning to get them or Castarise in 3.2? Or even both? Let me know in the comments. Until the next video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.